Nigga, I am the new Malcolm X. And there's plenty of more of them out there. I ain't the only one. You know what I'm saying? I am the new Dr. York. You know what I'm saying? Doc taught me everything that I know. Malcolm taught me everything I know. You know what I'm saying? All these black leaders that they murdered and killed, assassinated their character, I learned from them. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. You know what I'm saying? I am that new motherfucker. And like I said, I ain't nobody special. There's other niggas out there like that too. But I'm just bringing it to the forefront, and I'm making it happen now. And I'm a powerful nigga because I got millions of fans with Mobb Deep and Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, man. I'm using that power. Pac was a powerful nigga too. Pac knew about all that shit. Why you think they murdered that nigga? It wasn't no rap war. It wasn't because he jumped that nigga Orlando. No. That's a motherfucking lie. The government killed Pac. The feds had something to do with it. They set that nigga up. And they had something to do with Biggie getting killed too. And then they tried to make it look like a rap war. Yo, if Pac was still alive, we would be on the same team. Why you think I said that in my rhyme on the Return of the Mac? If Pac was still alive, we'd be on the same team. We got bigger fish to fry than that nigga Supreme. And when the bigger fish I'm talking about is this motherfucking government, this corrupt ass system, and these motherfucking cops. Like fuck beefing with Supreme, like nigga, like and whoever, and the niggas that set Pac up, I ain't even gonna say no names. They know who they are. The niggas that set Pac up in Quad Studio and had him shot. Yo, basically what I'm trying to say is fuck beefing with all these street niggas. Hey yo, we need to get together and fucking go at the government, son, the military, all these motherfuckers that's corrupting our minds, our brains, the Food and Drug Administration, Hollywood, you name it, healthcare, everything is connected. It's all crooked. They got this whole world fucked up. They got our minds fucked up, and that's what I meant when I said me and Pac would be on the same team, because E-Money Bags and Majesty was Pac's homies. Stretch, Majesty's brother. They got killed in Hollis in his car. Who you think he used to run with all the time? The nigga was in mad movies with Pac. Like, and I ain't realized that until me and Bags started getting mad cooler. When me and Bags started really getting cool and started really getting tight with each other, these niggas started telling me mad shit about, yo, Pac was our people. He used to be with us I was like, word? And Bags was the first nigga to tell me, yo, Pac was still alive, y'all niggas would be down together. Because I would have squashed all it. Bags told me himself, yo, I would have, and Madge. Madge was like, yo, I would have squashed that beef with y'all niggas, and y'all niggas would have been down with each other, yo. Because both of y'all niggas had the same mind state. We both on some motherfucking fuck that, you know what I'm saying, political shit, like we not having it. You know what I'm saying? We on some rebel shit. Pac was raised by the Black Panthers.
Nice to meet you, my bro.
Let's just say cool. The pleasure is mine.
Okay.
It is an honor, first and foremost. 50th anniversary, being home with all the political prisoners, still in the fight and the struggle. Is there anything you want to say to the fans and to the 80 million viewers on the Truth About Tupac channel?
Well, I think the first thing I would say about the truth about Tupac is that he wasn't nothing but the truth. He was the truth, you know. He was one of ours. We raised him, you know. He was raised among Black Panthers, Black Liberation Army members, and so a lot of what he learned through us. We were some of his first teachers.
Absolutely. And can you explain to us how the Shakur name was founded and what it stands for?
The name Shakur is the thankful, or those who are thankful to the Creator for all that He gives us. The first Shakur out of our clan was Salahuddin Shakur, father of Zayd, Malik Shakur, and Lumumba Shakur.
Yes.
He was the first one. He was a comrade of Malcolm X, brother of Malcolm X, a member of the Nation of Islam at the same time that Malcolm was. He left the nation a little before Malcolm did, but that's where the name originated from.
This is the one, Shakur, that was Tupac's uncle, and also a dear brother to Mutulu Shakur, who just this February 10th, as been given a chance to come on and join us. As you know, he's still in the fight and the struggle, but we'll be coming home soon. And we want to say to you, brother, it could never break your spirit. And we can't wait to have you come home so we can have you hear on the truth about Tupac, family, and movement.
You know, people wonder if Tupac was targeted because of his bloodline.
No, hold on 1 second. Like you pulling on the cord.
Am I pulling on the cord? Sorry about that. Is that better? Okay. The question comes up of, why Tupac was targeted. And was it because he was famous and, because he was swagger and arrogant? Was it because of his bloodline? My answer to that question is something that Tupac said to me. And I am witness to this, and people can do with this what they will. I visited Tupac when he was, among our many visits, I had gone to see him in Bellevue Hospital when he was in the prison ward. And this is after he had been convicted, but before he went upstate. And he came out, and I was a paralegal working with brother Talif Warren. I was working as his paralegal. So I was able to meet him one-on-one in the attorney visiting room. And he limped a little bit, but he looked good, and he embraced me. And he said, Uncle Jamal, before you start, because sometimes I would just kind of go in, right? He says, man, I have to tell you a story. He said, there's a guy in the back in the prison ward, a young brother. They brought him from upstate. He had to get a back operation. And he sees me, and he goes crazy. He goes, oh, man, I can't believe it, dog. Tupac, you here, man. I love you, dog. You my hero. And Tupac said, time out, bro. Why am I your hero? And the young brother was like, oh, man, come on, Pac, don't be playing, man. You be getting paid. You got all the women. You be shooting at the police. And Pac said, time out. If that's why I'm your hero, then I don't need to be your hero. And he said, Uncle Jamal, I realized something. He said, they're going to kill me. He said, they have to kill me because I'm a Shakur. My choice is, do I go out like Tony Montana for Scarface, or do I go out like Malcolm X? And I want to go out like Malcolm X. But yes, I think he was targeted because he was a Shakur, and because they know connected with that name was not just the legacy, but the activism and the ability to organize millions. That he had millions of ears that was listening to him around the world. Whenever you do that, and then he began to go, see, the other thing too, for just a moment, the Code of Thug Life is a revolutionary document. And if you don't know about the code, please, let's have our, the people that are watching this or listening to this, go online and look at Tupac's Code of Thug Life. He began to broker the peace between these gangs, and just begin to return to some values. It wasn't exactly the 10-point program of the Black Panther Party, but it was rooted in the same thing that I've been talking about in the Black Panther Party, that love for the community. Let's stop shooting at each other. Let's not snitch on each other. Let's not deal drugs in the hood. This is revolutionary if gangs are allowed to flourish because they're doing the job of the oppressor and in terms of eliminating young black men. That's what neocolonialism is. I don't have to come in as the oppressor in my uniform, with my army, with my people who look different, and kill you and lock you up. What I can do is create a psychological climate of self-hatred. I can pour in the guns and pour in the drugs and step back and let you do it to yourselves. And nobody's seeing where it's really coming from. So when you introduce something like the Code of Thug Life into that, that's revolutionary. And so Fred Hampton got killed in Chicago for the same thing.
Speaking of the government, the Shakur family, y'all was being watched by the government, right?
That is correct. That is correct. That's an understatement, That is an understatement. Yeah, I'm getting ready to, I just recently got a book deal. My book is going to be called This Thug's Life. Probably be out next year. But, I'm going to talk about some of these things and who our family really is, which help develop Pac's point of view. We come from a family of, community organizers, and black revolutionaries, and rebels, and healers, and we real tapped in with the community for years, and which led to the attention of the federal government and COINTELPRO. My father and Afeni did some very important work back in the 70s when they helped expose the COINTELPRO papers so that people even knew that it existed, you know, you know, until then they were accusing black folks of like, oh, y'all just making it up. Nah, nah, they targeted black leaders, black influences, people of all shades who were promoting revolutionary thought and education. And it don't stop, excuse me for cutting you off, but it don't stop because Auntie Assad is still free. You see what I'm saying? So they're constantly trying to, catch her. And she is currently still on FBI's 10 most wanted, the female with the highest bounty on her head on FBI's 10 most wanted. I think it's over $1 million.
They've been trying to get Asada for decades, man, but they can't get her because Cuba, they won't give her up, right?
Exactly.
The whole liberation of oppressed people in the United States has to do not with climbing up some ladder to success, not for asking to be just like Rockefeller or just like DuPont or just like Ford, because that would only continue the oppression and exploitation of oppressed people in the United States, and specifically African people born and raised in the United States. Socialism is an integral part of building social justice on this planet. The condition of my people, my history, was very much connected with other oppressed people, and I began to see that the same foot that was on the necks of the Vietnamese people, that was on the necks of all oppressed people on the planet, was the same foot that was on my neck. And so I began to understand that imperialism has to go. It is a poison that is killing people all over this world. The priorities of this planet have to be completely changed. And instead of profits, instead of policies that destroy the earth, that destroy the water, that destroy human beings, I believe a policy that protects people, that makes people live in a community, a world community. That's what I believe. That's my basic political commitment at this moment.
You don't advocate cop killing.
Not at all. I don't advocate violence in any way.
I'm just curious as to whether the song that he was listening to had anything to do with cop killing, or...
No, I just said I don't write songs about cop killing.
But it did have the lyrics in there.
Don't 6 of the songs on your album mention cop killing?
No.
Oh, that's not true.
No. All my songs talk about police brutality and self-defense. Now, that's something different.
If we're going to talk about police, this man over here is in a really rough area, and he puts his life on the line every day.
I got so much respect for him for that, but look, we have to live in the same neighborhoods without bulletproof vests, without backup, without walkie-talkies, without guns, without tear gas, without pepper spray, without batons. So now we have to fix the problem.
Tupac was specifically a revolutionary rapper. Not the revolution of the 60s or the 70s, but a revolutionary rapper of his time. I think it's important that people understand that while you might praise or not praise the fact that Tupac had a political history, the post-traumatic stress associated with that history, very few people understand. And so while we think it's very important that people understand his connection to and his part of, his heritage of the liberation struggle, it's also important to understand that it's never been easy. It's a natural thing for children who are absent from their father to be aggravated, to be mad. So we had beefs. During those discussions, we began to clarify what is struggle, what is the stress of struggle, and that it wasn't easy for me not to be with them. It wasn't easy for me to give up my life for the struggle and even my family. We would argue. I mean, when he started tattoo thug life, when he started talking about thug life, what do you mean thug life? What are you talking about, snatching somebody's pocketbook? Well, I ain't talking about no fucking snatch. Well, what are you talking about? I'm talking about thug. Tupac. What is thug? I'm in jail with a bunch of these no good motherfuckers. Is this thug life? What are you talking about? Okay, define it. Define thug life. Research. Make your own definition. I ain't mad, I don't have a problem with it. But come up with something that is clearly what you're talking about.
When I say thug life, I mean that shit. Cause these white folks see us as thugs. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if you think you a lawyer, if you a man, if you an African American, if you whatever the fuck you think you are. We thugs and niggas to these motherfuckers. You know? And until we own some shit, I'ma call it like it is. How you gonna be a man and we starving? You know? And you can walk by 5 different houses, ain't a man in either one of them motherfuckers. How we gonna be a man? How we gonna be African Americans? And we out here dying. We thugs and we niggas until we set this shit right. Trust me when I tell you that shit.
Young black males out there identify with thug life.
H-U-G-L-I-F-E. The hate you gave little infants, U-C-K, everybody. Meaning, what you feed us as seeds grows and blows up in your face. That's thug life.
Good morning. My name is John Burris, and I am here today with my client Tupac Amour Shakur, as well as other members of the Digital Underground rap group and some members of the Digital Underground rap group, a combination of the various groups.
Basically, I walked across the street, 17th and Broadway. The police officer stopped me on the sidewalk and asked to see my ID. They sweated me about my name. The officers said, "You have to learn your place." They were charging me with jaywalking, so I was riffing, arguing about why would they charge me with such a petty crime. So I kept yelling, asking them to give me my citation and let me go about my business. Next thing I know, my face was being buried into the concrete and I was laying face down in the gutter, waking up from being unconscious in cuffs with blood on my face, and I'm going to jail for resisting arrest. That's harassment to me, that I have to be stopped in the middle of the street and checked like we're in South Africa and asked for my ID. Officer Boyvik repeatedly slammed my face into the floor while Rogers put the cuffs on me. That's not called for jaywalking.
The whole world has seen what happened to Rodney King.
Oh, hold up. Baby, let me show you what they did to Tupac Shakur. Right. All that movie, that didn't mean nothing to OPD. Right. I was still an N-I-double-G-A, and they proved it. And if you can see this, Mr. Cameraman, all of this is scars I'll go to my grave with.
I can see
These
it.
are learn to be a nigga scars.
You're suing them.
10 mil. What else can I do? You know, we'll see what happens. You know how that go.
Yeah.
Rodney King still fighting for his, and they got it on tape.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They got it on tape.
One day I'm gonna bust, blow up on this society. Why did you lie to me? I couldn't find a trace of equality.
They settled with me. They gave me $42,000. I had to pay my lawyer a whole bunch. And bought a car. I only settled because I was tired of going to court. I could have won more, but I was tired of going to court. And I felt like any dollar from any police department was good money.
So do you feel any remorse for the cops that got killed? And be real.
Can you
Wait.
Can you fall?
Wait, I'm feeling my remorse. Wait, chill.
Can you fart?
No. I mean, I would if I could, but I can't. Because it wasn't no remorse for Tasha. It wasn't no remorse for you, Seth Hawkins. And there wasn't no remorse when the motherfuckers kicked my ass. So they can all motherfucking die. So they respect me as a motherfucking man. And every black man out there, they can all motherfucking die. And that's real. Until they do, more motherfuckers gonna die. As long as they got bullets, it's gonna be some justice around this motherfucker.
Please, excuse me, through. Excuse me, through. Just keep it tight. That's all. Mr. Shakur, how are you this morning?
No problem.
No. This way. Right here. Come on.
Good work, fellas.
All right, Desiree, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about something a little bit more serious, something that bothers me as a Tupac fan, because I believe that this is ultimately what changed the trajectory of his life. So on November 19th, 1993, Pac gets arrested for his infamous sex abuse case with Ayanna Jackson, which, like I said, ultimately changed the trajectory of his life. Take me through that night from your perspective. Did he call you when he got out of prison, or did you just hear about it on the news?
I heard about it when he got locked up, and I spoke to him maybe a week, 2 weeks later. And, this is around the time where we're like, I only knew him. You said 93 is when this happened, right?
Yeah.
91, 93. Yeah, like that was like the beginning stages of us dating. But we had a really cool friendship and bond that in some aspect he trusted me enough to talk to me about it. And, he just, first of all, the anger wasn't the problem. He was hurt. He was hurt that people would view him as a racist. He was hurt that a black woman of all people was putting this allegation on him of something he did not do. He wasn't like that. He was made to be like that. So.
What exactly did he tell you happened that night?
He told me she came through. He wasn't really interested in fucking with her. Like, she gave him head, whatever. And like, they all came out in the living room, was chilling because it was a 1-bedroom suite that they had. And that, he stepped out the room and he just left. Like, he went to do something else. I don't know what, and I don't recall, exactly, but he said he left her there. Like, she was chilling. She was comfortable. She knew them niggas. And he left her. He wasn't trying to chill with her. He wasn't trying to vibe with her. He actually said he wasn't even, like, he wasn't going to call her ever again. So maybe, she felt like she was down and he rejected her maybe. And, or it could be another theory too. Could be that the people she was with, I don't know, because it's kind of weird. It's like you said these people did things to you, And then at the end of the day, they all get off with it, and he's the only one that gets locked up. So I don't even know if
And
she
then he
was
gets
just
convicted of sex abuse, which was like smacking her ass after she sucked his willy on the dance floor. That's what's crazy to me.
and goes to jail.
Yeah, they really, I think they wanted him for getting off for shooting those 2 cops.
Absolutely.
But of course, that's all speculative. There's no way to prove that.
Yeah, as well as, you know, having politicians against you, so they get you locked up, you know, they're all in cahoots. It's nothing for somebody to put a call in and say, you know, give him the max you can give him or whatever, but it didn't seem right. Seemed like some bullshit.
Monday, Shakur went before the bench in a preliminary court hearing accused of shooting and wounding 2 off-duty police officers during an argument on an Atlanta street. The incident happened at this intersection early Sunday morning. Authorities say 2 officers, brothers, were crossing the street when a car allegedly nearly hit them. An argument followed and shots were fired.
Atlanta police charged Clayton County officer Mark Whitwell with aggravated assault, reckless conduct, and making a false statement. They say Whitwell also fired a shot during a confrontation with rap star Tupac Shakur in October.
Did he fire in the first car or the second car?
It didn't look like he was firing either car. I think he was firing a warning shot or something. It didn't appear to be firing anyway.
Witness Edward Field says the gunman was white, but in court today, he could not identify Whitwell as the shooter. Tupac Shakur is also charged with aggravated assault for allegedly shooting Mark Whitwell and his brother Scott. Scott Whitwell, a Henry County police officer, also off duty at the time, says he and his brother felt threatened that night.
I made eye contact with one person on the right passenger side, front side of the vehicle. As he stepped down, he started towards me. I saw him extract a weapon from his jacket.
Why don't you tell the story about what happened in Atlanta?
Basically, an intoxicated off-duty police officer was harassing someone.
A black kid.
A black kid. Pac said something to him. Pac was in the car with the homies, like 2 cars, and they chose to come to the car and engage, and Pac wasn't the type of dude to back down, and they broke the passenger window, I think. The cop broke the passenger window, and they got shot in the ass. They ran and got shot in the ass, and
did they shoot at Tupac at all?
They had a gun.
They had a gun.
They were waving it.
Okay.
They was drunk. I mean, you know.
Right.
And at the time when they broke the window, it was hard to tell where they were shooting, or it was just, you know, breaking and busting the window.
Okay. So Tupac pulled out. He shot both of them. Or one of them?
One of them, I believe.
Okay. And now, I heard that this was somewhat of a changing point, because up until that point, a black man shooting 2 white cops in the South and getting away with it was unheard of. It just never happened. And Tupac actually fought the case and ended up winning.
Yep. I mean, sometimes when you fight for what's right, sometimes the outcome is what you want. It's not always, but they had a stolen weapon from an evidence room.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Running around Atlanta drunk, fucking with people. Get what you get.
That's how he won the case. He proved that they were drunk, the weapon was stolen, just the whole, the typical dirty cop shit.
Yeah, and people act like oh, you're just exaggerating. Oh, you guys just exaggerating. You know, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all know, you know what I mean? It's like what I said earlier. You know, we in the thug life, we knowing the truth. You know, the law enforcement who you know leads the narrative, when they're lying, what are you left with?
Yeah.
Who's going to believe you? You know what I mean? You don't get the benefit of that. We don't get the benefit of that, especially like this. Shit.
How many years was Pac facing had he gotten convicted for that?
I don't know, a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Double digits.
Yeah, man. But God don't like ugly.
You know, because a lot of people talk about the revolutionary shit, you know, but when it comes down to it, they back away.
About it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They back away.
Yeah.
And Pac, in this particular case, literally pulled out a gun and was really
As
about
the legend goes. As the legend goes.
As the legend goes.
Everybody agree.
The music made me do it. That's what Ronald Ray Howard claimed. Now, the officer's widow is suing Tupac and his record company for $100 million. What do the people claim, though? Because there were some lyrics in the song about cop dusting or something like that, right?
Well, actually, the story that they were talking about is called Soldier Story. And it wasn't about killing cops at all. That's just what the media took, because you know they're going to take what they want. It was about somebody who was so scared of police brutality that he panicked when they pulled him over.
They finally pulled me over and I laughed. Remember Rodney King and I blast on this punk ass.
And it showed how his life fell apart.
Now I got a murder case.
At the end of the story, he died.
Caught a bullet in my head. The screams never left my mind. My brother caught a bullet too. But I think he gonna pull through, cause he deserves to. This fast life ain't everything they told you. You never get much older. Follow the tracks of a soldier.
But they didn't say that. They didn't talk about none of that. They just took what they wanted.
The media generally has portrayed Tupac in basically a negative light.
Your song, I Don't Give an F.
I start the song out sitting in a paddy wagon and the cops are bragging about beating up another brother.
What that shows is what the media on any day is able to show you about anyone's life. And in reality, people live their life on a day-to-day basis.
So I feel like my job is to tell a story, the whole story, and I can't censor it. Whatever you say, censor it or making it right, it's still censoring it. You know, we all got to have the knowledge of what's going on, and that's what I'm trying to do.
I see no changes. All I see is racist faces. Misplaced hate makes disgrace to races. We under. I wonder what it takes to make this one better place. Let's erase the wasted. Take the evil out the people that we acting right. Cause both black and white smoking back tonight. And the only time we chill is when we kill each other. It takes skill to be real, time to heal each other.
Okay, let's get serious. All BS aside, it all comes down to we got to survive here in this country. Cause I'm not going back to Africa. I mean, if this is truly a melting pot, then we really need to be like that. White folks, black folks, Korean folks, Mexican folks, Puerto Ricans, we gotta understand each other.
By its cover.
As real as it seems, the American dream ain't nothing but another calculated scheme to get us locked up, shot up and back in chains, to deny us of the future, rob our names. You kept my history a mystery, but now I see the American dream wasn't meant for me, cause Lady Liberty's a hypocrite, she lied to me, promised me freedom, education, and equality. She never gave me nothing but slavery, so now look at how dangerous you made me. Calling me a madman, because I'm strong and bold, with this dumb full of knowledge of the lies you told. Promise me emancipation in this new nation. All you ever gave my people was starvation. Fathers of this country never cared for me. They kept my ancestors shackled up in slavery. And Uncle Sam never did a damn thing for me, except lie about the facts in my head. My mother never let me forget my history, hoping I was set free. Change that were put on me, wanted to be more than just free. Had to know the true facts about my history.
As it seems, the American dream ain't nothing but another calculated scheme to get us locked up, shot up and back in chains, to deny us of the future, rob our name. Kept my history a mystery, but now I see the American dream wasn't meant for me, cause Lady Liberty's a hypocrite, she lied to me, promised me freedom, education, equality, never gave me nothing but slavery, and now look at how dangerous you made me, calling me a madman, cause I'm strong and bold, with this gun full of knowledge of the lies you told, promised me emancipation in this new nation. All you ever gave my people was salvation. Fathers of this country never cared for me. They kept my ancestors shackled up in slavery. And Uncle Sam never did a damn thing for me, except lie about the facts in my history. So now I'm sitting here mad cause I'm unemployed, but the government's glad cause they enjoy when my people are down, so they can screw us around. Time to change the government now. Panther power. Panther power. Panther power. Panther power.
Tupac was specifically a revolutionary rapper. Not the revolution of the 60s or the 70s, but a revolutionary rapper of his time.
We want to make it clear to black youth that if they want to be revolutionaries, they will be dead revolutionaries.
So when you introduce something like the code of thug life into that, that's revolutionary. And so Fred Hampton got killed in Chicago for the same thing. He had taken the Young Lords, the toughest, best organized, largest street gang, Puerto Rican street gang in Chicago, and helped them become a revolutionary organization called the Young Lords Party.
The policemen react the same way from .357 Magnums and shotguns that the people do, or anybody else. And we know how to ward these frantic fascists off. That we have to defend ourselves. We intend to defend ourselves. We did so in the past, and we're going to do it today, and the day after that, and the day after that. Because only through this proper example of the self-defense and the proper example of retaliation, and by letting these people know that we move from some basic laws, that anything that goes down on oppressed people, on the part of the oppressor, it should be reciprocal. And in plain proletarian workers' language, it takes two to tango. As soon as these motherfuckers go, we go.
The Black Panther Party, that they can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that. You're going to have to say that I am a proletarian. I am the people. I'm not the pig. You've got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the pigs. The people are going to have to stand up against the pigs. That's what the Panthers are doing. That's what the Panthers are doing all over the world. I'm the deputy chairman of the state of Illinois, Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. And a lot of people don't understand the Black Panther Party's relationship with white mother country radicals. A lot of people don't even understand that word that Eric uses a lot. But what we're saying is that there are white people in the mother country that are for the same types of things that we are for stimulating revolution in the mother country. And we've said that we'll work with anybody and form coalition with anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism. And we know that racism is just it's a byproduct of capitalism. Everything would be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people. And we're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people. Everybody in the state of Illinois is going to have to be involved or even around the revolution because we're going to have one. We're going to have to do more than talk. We're going to have to do more than listen. We're going to even have to do more than learn. We're going to have to start practicing, and that's very hard. We're going to have to start learning, and you learn through practice. We're going to have to start making mistakes, and you learn through making mistakes. We're going to have to start getting out there with the people. And a lot of times we think we're better than the people, but that's an insult, and that's criminal. Think you're better than the people. We got to get together and learn where it's at. It's going to take a lot of hard work. Okay, you can put your hands down now. We say all power to all people. We say white power to white people. White power to white people. Brown power to brown people. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. Black power to black people. X power to those that we left out. X power to those we left out. We say Panther power to the Vanguard Party. When you leave here saying the last word, before you go to bed tonight, say, I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe it and you might, end up in what they call a revolutionary happy hunting ground. Say that. I am a revolutionary. Say it when you're going out. Everybody want to keep living easy. Okay? We're going to say it while we're going out. Hey, we're going to start a thing called Free Fred. Don't that sound nice? Hey, let's do that. Free Fred! Free Fred! Free Fred! Free Fred! Hey, I ain't even in jail yet.
The Black Panthers are recruiting criminals and hoodlums and encouraging them to engage in a broad range of terrorist activities. They are the greatest threat to the internal security of this country. We want to make it clear to black youth that if they want to be revolutionaries, they will be dead revolutionaries.
You're busting your fist against a stone wall. You're not using your brain. That's what the white man wants you to do. Look at you. What makes you ashamed of being black?
I even know how hard it is. Being a woman, a black woman at that, in this white man's world. Sometimes we overlook the fact that we be riding hard now since we don't be knowing the pain we be causing. This white man's world. This white man's world. I ain't saying I'm innocent in all this. I'm just saying this white man's world. This song is together. For all those times that I mess up, but we mess up. Dear sister, got me twisted up in prison, I miss you. Crying, looking at my nieces and my nephew's picture. They say don't let this cool world get you. Kinda suspicious, swearing one day you might leave me for somebody that's richer. Twist the cap off the bottom, I take a sip and see tomorrow. Gotta make it if I have to beg a bottle. Reading love letters late night, locked down and quiet. If brothers don't receive they mail, best believe we ride. Eating Jack Mac, staring at the walls of silence inside this cage where they captured all my rage and violence. In time I learned a few lessons, never fall for riches. Apologies to my true sisters, far from bitches. Help me raise my black nation, reparations are due. It's true, caught up in this world, I took advantage of you. So tell the babies how I love them, precious boys and girls, born black in this white man's world.
And you talk about black people. Hey, no, we haven't had it this bad in a long time.
All these motherfuckers wanna be like us. They all wanna be like us. To be the have-nots. All hands. Get our blessed shadow. Hold his own. No motherfucking doubt. Being born with less, I must confess. Only adds on to the stress. 2 gunshots to my homie's head. Died in his vest. Shot him to death and left him bleeding for his family to see. I pass his casket, gently ask him, is there heaven for G? My homeboy's doing life, his baby mama be stressing, shedding tears when her son finally asked that questions. Where my daddy at? Mama, why we live so poor? Why you crying? Heard you late night to my bedroom door. Now do you love me, mama? Why they keep on calling me nigga? Get my weight up with my hate and pay them back when I'm bigger. And still thugging in this jail cell, missing my block. Hearing brothers screaming all night, wishing they stop. Proud to be black, but why we act like we don't love ourselves? Don't look around, just suck, check yourselves. Know what it means to be black, whether a man or girl, we still struggling in this white man's world. We must fight for brotherhood, man. We must fight for brotherhood, born black in this white man's world. We must fight for brother Geronimo Pratt. We must fight man's world. So tell me why you change and choose a new direction. And I'm thinking it out. My time away just made perfection. Cause I think I die. Not going far, why should I care? Like we holding on to lost love that's no longer there. Can you please help me? God bless me, please keep my seeds healthy. Making all my enemies bleed while my G's wealthy. Hoping they bury me with ammunition, weed and shells. Just in case they trip in heaven, ain't no G's in hell. Sister, sorry for the pain that I caused your heart. I know I'll change if you help me, but don't fall apart. Rest in peace to Latasha, Lil Yummy and Kato. Too much for this cold war to take, ended up being fatal. Every woman in America, especially black, bear with me, can't you see that we under attack? I never meant to cause drama to my sister and mama, but we make it through better times in this white man's world. You're out of touch with reality. A few of you in a few smoke-filled rooms calling that the mainstream, while the masses of the people, white and black, red, yellow, and brown, poor and vulnerable, are suffering in this nation. Never that. In this white man's world, they can't stop us. We've been here all this time, they took us out. They can never take us out. No matter what they say about us being extinct, about us being endangered species, we ain't never gonna leave this. We ain't never gonna walk off this planet unless y'all choose. Shakur, all ding, all the real OGs, we out.
The seal and the Constitution reflect the thinking of the founding fathers that this was to be a nation by white people and for white people. Native Americans, blacks, and all other non-white people were to be the burden bearers for the real citizens of this nation. The eye of providence in a radiant triangle and the motto E pluribus unum were also proposed for the face of the seal. Even though the country was populated by so-called Indians and black slaves were brought to build the country, the official seal of the country was never designed to reflect our presence, only that of the European immigrants. The seal and the Constitution reflect the thinking of the founding fathers that this was to be a nation by white people and for white people. Native Americans, blacks, and all other non-white people were to be the burden bearers for the real citizens of this nation. For the back of the seal, the committee suggested a picture of Pharaoh sitting in an open chariot with a crown on his head and a sword in his hand, passing through the divided waters of the Red Sea in pursuit of the Israelites. And hovering over the sea was to be shown a pillar of fire in a cloud, expressive of the divine presence and command. And rays from this pillar of fire were to be shown beaming down on Moses, standing on the shore, extending his hand over the sea, causing it to overwhelm Pharaoh. The motto for the reverse was, rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. Let me say it again. Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God.
It has been 27 years to the night since the music world was flipped upside down. Rap icon Tupac Shakur was gunned down near the Las Vegas Strip. Well, after years of this murder case shrouded in mystery, this summer brought new developments in the investigation. Our Kelsey McFarland takes us back to that night and has the latest on the case.
I realized mama really paid the price. She nearly gave her life to raise me right.
Tupac Shakur's music and mentality struck a chord with millions. Despite being viewed as a violent and troubled young man, Tupac was a voice to the voiceless.
I give a holler to my sisters on welfare. Tupac cares if don't nobody else care.
With a mix of aggressive lyrics and social commentary, Tupac grew to be a giant in rap and hip-hop, but everyone who loved him would lose him. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac and members of rap label Death Row Records, including Suge Knight, made their way to Las Vegas. Tupac's close friend and Las Vegas resident Mike Tyson was fighting Bruce Seldon. Police say it was around 11 p.m. when shots rang out at Flamingo and Koval. Carroll, who was the first officer to arrive on scene, says he noticed Tupac was bleeding from his mouth and knew the rapper was almost out of time. He tried to get any information from Tupac before he blacked out.
And I looked at him and I said, "Who shot you?" And he looked at me and he was trying to get his breath together, and I thought I was going to actually get some cooperation. So he looked back at me and he said, "F you."
Tupac went into surgery at UMC, where he would die 6 days later. Word spread quickly throughout the music world.
I was at home with my wife, came across the news, and we start to call people we knew that knew him, just trying to get information.
When somebody told me about Tupac, I was thinking, this brother's gonna be doing this for like 40 or 50 years, and every decade he gonna bring a crazy change.
Though he was a fierce warrior, he represented love. He loved his community, he loved his people.
He had his own technique on how he was going to bring about change, and in the 90s, he brought that change about. And he was the first multi-faceted, superstar in rap music and hip-hop.
Reporting in Las Vegas, I'm Kelsey McFarland.
considering that Tupac was 25 when he was killed, you know, his plans were a lot incomplete, but fantastically, they were also very perceptive. One of the things that he planned to do was to build all over the country. He wanted to build what he called at the time thug mansions, which would have been places where he would have been able to offer young people space, opportunity, and resources to do something else with their lives besides being on the street. He really wanted to offer programs that were specifically geared to young people who would not ordinarily be able to get an opportunity. For instance, if you're on the street and you've been on the street for a while and you've got like some bust, some arrest records, you really are kind of not going to get very much help in the system. So Tupac wanted to create opportunities for those people, help those people create opportunities where there were none. It wasn't that he was trying to get them jobs in corporate America. He would have been more interested in creating corporations for them to use the skills that they used in the street, use those skills in the legitimate world, because young people don't really get a chance. They are knocked out of the box before they learn what the box is. They already have strikes against them. So Tupac had a lot of those things concerned him, and Thug Mansion really was all about that. What we try to do now is try to do a performing arts center and performing arts camps, but they are small, you know, examples of things that I think Tupac would himself have done. Tupac had visionary ideas. He literally meant to change the nature of young people's lives who were trapped in a ghetto environment or a violent environment that they did not invent. He really believed that, you know, it took some special things to do that.
Do you think the Black Panthers were successful? Do you think that they were wiped out by the government, or how do you view the situation?
I think that they were successful because they bred me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe myself to be the offspring of the Black Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I see and I learned from what they had. You know, they got did in by the media, their love for cameras, and an extremely sinister government. And they just happen to be born in the same time as a motherfucker named J. Edgar Hoover, a homosexual with a big problem. You know what I'm saying? A big problem. So they just was his victims. You know what I'm saying? But what they don't know is that if they would have let the Panthers continue to do what they was going to do, it wouldn't have been near one of them riots. It wouldn't be half as much as this crime. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. Instead of letting us when we wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like how America could go cross country, save another motherfucker's culture, but they'll stay here and fuck our culture off all goddamn day long. You know what I'm saying? Everybody and their mama, you asked me to tell you what they did. The Panthers, what they plan was to do was for black people to do for themselves. And they felt like not hate white people, but just be more black. If we all just stop mixed racing, stop interracial marriaging and all of that bullshit, just stay amongst our own families, we'll promote some kind of black love between man and woman. We'll have more kids. And we'll have more kids, we'll have a bigger population, you know what I'm saying? And if we own the businesses for our populations, then we'll have more money. If we have money, then we have power. If we have power, then we have land. If we have land, then we are people. You know what I'm saying? Then we, you know what I'm saying, got some kind of power in this country. But so they saw that COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program set up by J. Edgar Hoover, saw that the Panthers were doing a damn good job because all over the country they got this buzz, similar to how Thug Life is.
Drug life?
Thug Life.
Thug life.
Yeah. So now the Panthers got everybody talking about the Panthers and we want to be free and we want decent housing and talking good, not just bitch hole, you know, straight good. And they start infiltrating. Now, why would they do this to a young black organization? And why would you not think they would do it to me? they infiltrated them, meaning they got people to say that they were Panthers, they joined the Panthers, and they would start the ruckus. Like, say, let's go shoot up the Botanical Gardens or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And do it in the name of the Panthers, but it's a cop. You know what I'm saying? And everybody think it's the Panthers because he's dressed like a Panther. You know what I'm saying? And he's screaming the Panthers, but he's a cop. He's been sent by the FBI. They got papers to document this shit. You know what I'm saying? And straight up, where Fred Hampton is laying in his bed, they hire his bodyguard to give them a floor plan of this man's house. A floor plan of this man's house. This is what they did to Saddam Hussein. A floor plan of this motherfucker's house. The police is doing this. Had the police raid this shit in the middle of the night. Nobody asked shit, just shoot. This man died in his sleep. You know what I'm saying? And they knew where his bed was. You gonna tell me the police could not get that man? You think you think I can't read? You know what I'm saying? They asked me why I write this shit. You think I can't read? You think I don't know what went down?
So do you, in terms of you feel that you're a product of that, or
I'm a product of a society that will openly tell me that my life isn't worth anything.
Tupac was specifically a revolutionary rapper. Not the revolution of the 60s or the 70s, but a revolutionary rapper of his time.
So when you introduce something like the code of thug life into that, that's revolutionary.
We want to make it clear to black youth that if they want to be revolutionaries, they will be dead revolutionaries.